Cristiano Ronaldo's career is filled with goals, trophies, records, and unforgettable celebrations. But some of his greatest moments came when everything seemed to be going against him. When his team was behind, when critics doubted him, or when the pressure became almost impossible to handle, Ronaldo repeatedly found a way to fight back. His greatest comebacks weren't simply about scoring goals. They were about mentality, belief, and refusing to accept that a match was already over. One of the biggest reasons Ronaldo became so dangerous during difficult matches was his mindset. Some players lose confidence when things aren't going their way. Ronaldo often seemed to become even more determined. A missed opportunity could frustrate him, but it rarely convinced him to stop trying. He understood that football can change in a single moment. That mentality developed during his early years. Growing up in Madeira, Ronaldo dreamed of becoming a professional footballer despite facing obstacles that could have discouraged him. Leaving home at a young age to pursue football was already a major sacrifice. He had to adapt to a new environment, compete against talented players, and prove that he belonged. Those experiences helped create the mentality that later became one of his greatest strengths. When Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United, he was still developing. He had incredible talent, but he needed to become stronger and more consistent. There were moments when critics questioned whether his flashy style could succeed at the highest level. Instead of allowing those doubts to define him, Ronaldo continued improving. Eventually, he became one of Manchester United's most important players. One of the clearest examples of his comeback mentality came during the 2007-08 season. Ronaldo was no longer simply an exciting young winger. He had developed into a world-class goal scorer who could decide matches. The more pressure he faced, the more responsibility he seemed willing to accept. His move to Real Madrid created an even bigger challenge. Ronaldo joined a club where expectations were enormous. Every match was analyzed, every missed opportunity became a headline, and every defeat created questions about the team. But Ronaldo consistently responded through performances. One of his most famous comeback performances came in the Champions League against Wolfsburg in 2016. Real Madrid entered the second leg needing to overturn a 2-goal deficit after losing the first match. Many believed the situation was extremely difficult. Then Ronaldo changed everything. He scored a hat-trick as Real Madrid completed the comeback and advanced. The performance became one of the clearest examples of his ability to respond when his team needed him most. The first goal gave Real Madrid hope. The second changed the atmosphere completely. Then came the decisive free kick, completing the hat-trick and turning an almost impossible situation into one of the most memorable Champions League comebacks. That night demonstrated something important about Ronaldo. He didn't simply wait for his teammates to create opportunities. He constantly looked for ways to influence the game himself. Another unforgettable comeback came against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Real Madrid had already established a strong position, but Ronaldo's performance once again demonstrated his ability to dominate a major European night. His hat-trick helped Real Madrid take control of the tie and reminded everyone why he was so dangerous in knockout football. Then there was the famous comeback against Atletico Madrid in 2019, this time while playing for Juventus. Juventus had lost the first leg 2-0 and needed a huge response in the return match. Ronaldo delivered another extraordinary performance. He scored 3 goals and helped Juventus overturn the deficit. The comeback became one of the defining moments of his Juventus career. What made that performance even more impressive was the pressure surrounding it. Juventus had invested heavily in Ronaldo partly because of his ability to perform in the Champions League. The team needed him, and he responded exactly when expectations were at their highest. These performances show a pattern that appeared throughout Ronaldo's career. When the situation became difficult, he didn't look for excuses. He looked for solutions. His comeback mentality also appeared during international football. Representing Portugal meant carrying the expectations of an entire country. Whenever Portugal struggled, Ronaldo was often expected to provide inspiration. One of his most memorable international performances came against Spain at the 2018 World Cup. Portugal faced one of the strongest teams in the tournament, and the match became a dramatic battle. Ronaldo scored 3 times, including a spectacular late free kick that completed his hat-trick. The goal came at a moment when Portugal desperately needed something special. It was another example of Ronaldo delivering under pressure. But comebacks aren't always about one player scoring 3 goals. Sometimes they involve recovering mentally after disappointment. Ronaldo experienced difficult defeats throughout his career. He lost major finals, suffered painful tournament exits, and faced criticism after matches where he couldn't produce the expected result. The difference was what happened afterward. Instead of allowing disappointment to become permanent, Ronaldo usually returned to training with the same determination. This is perhaps one of the most important lessons from his career. A comeback begins before the next match. It begins when a player decides that failure will not define them. Ronaldo's training mentality played a major role in this. After difficult performances, he could analyze what went wrong and work on improving it. He didn't simply rely on confidence. He built confidence through preparation. His physical preparation also helped. Maintaining elite fitness allowed him to continue making explosive runs, challenging defenders, and producing decisive moments even late in matches. As he became older, his comeback ability evolved. Earlier in his career, Ronaldo could use speed and dribbling to create opportunities. Later, he became more focused on positioning, movement, and finishing. This adaptation allowed him to remain dangerous even when his physical game changed. Another important quality was his willingness to take responsibility. When a team is losing, some players try to avoid making mistakes. Ronaldo often did the opposite. He continued asking for the ball, attempting shots, making runs, and looking for opportunities. That courage can change the mentality of an entire team. When teammates see their star player refusing to surrender, they can begin believing that the match is still winnable. That is why Ronaldo's comeback moments often felt bigger than individual performances. They became emotional experiences for teammates and supporters. Fans didn't simply watch Ronaldo score. They watched him refuse to give up. That is one of the biggest reasons his comeback performances became legendary. The goals were spectacular, but the story behind them was even more powerful. A player who has already achieved almost everything in football could easily become comfortable. Ronaldo never seemed satisfied. Every difficult match became another challenge. Every defeat became another reason to improve. Every comeback became another reminder that football is never over until the final whistle. His career demonstrates that confidence isn't about believing you'll win every time. It's about believing you still have a chance even when the odds are against you. That mentality helped Ronaldo produce some of the greatest comeback performances in modern football. From Manchester United to Real Madrid, Juventus, and Portugal, the pattern continued. When the pressure increased, Ronaldo often became more influential. When the situation looked impossible, he searched for a way through. And when millions of people were watching, he repeatedly showed that he was willing to take responsibility. Ultimately, Cristiano Ronaldo's greatest comebacks are not simply stories about goals. They are stories about resilience. They show what happens when talent is combined with preparation, confidence, discipline, and an unwillingness to surrender. That is why his comeback performances remain so memorable. Because football fans don't only remember who scored the goal. They remember who believed the game wasn't over. And throughout his extraordinary career, Cristiano Ronaldo has repeatedly been that player.